Welcome to this presentation on how to make your first module. I'm going to be using a zone called Stan's Demo Zone, and under the Learn tab I'll click on Edit Path Modules, and I'll see all the modules I've already created, but I want to create a new module. I'll give it a title. Let's call it Friction 101, and I'd also like to upload an icon from my computer that's now been uploaded, and I need to add some description text. I've actually copied that text into the clipboard and just pasted it in to make it quicker. And now I'll click the next button. Our next task is to set up some pages to work with. This is what it looks like when you've just created a new module. This is a page that comes with it, and it has some text in there giving you some instructions. You can move it around the page, delete the text, double click, add some new text, and move the cell around anywhere you like. But what I'm actually going to do is go to a module that I've already created and bring in template screens or template pages. This will make creating the module much faster and keep consistency. In fact, I don't really need the first page anymore, so I'll delete that. Now I have 3 pages that are sort of the outline of my module. Before I copy too many of these pages, I'll edit the running head. I'll actually copy it using keyboard shortcuts, and then when I go to the other pages I can just paste it in. So that's just copying and pasting. Now I'm going to take this middle page, which is like the information page, and duplicate it. So now I have my 5 pages, and it's time to edit the first page, which is the introduction page. Let's navigate there. I'm going to put in the main body of text, which I've actually pre-written in Word, and I'm going to paste it in. The one problem with pasting in from Word is you can get a whole lot of unnecessary characters come across, so I always paste it in raw mode. The downside is you have to go back in and reformat it, put in breaks, etc. This doesn't take too long, and it's probably worth it. I enjoy using Word because I can see the whole document in one go. Some people prefer to edit straight into the Siliconcoach Live Bracken. Either way is fine. I'd like to add a video now, add a bit of excitement to this page. This is a video I've already loaded. Just going to check it's the right one. You can add description and tags to help searching, and then I'll insert it in the page and then reposition it so it's got a nice balance. So now we're going to add an information page, and this is where the more detail comes in. So this one is actually going to be a theory page. So the second screen, I'm going to give it a title, which is going to be theory, and some text. And again, I've pre-written it, so I'm going to copy it in, paste it using keyboard shortcuts. This bit of text does have a bit of formatting, so I am going to have to go through and put in all the line breaks, but I'm going to add some bullet points, etc. as well. Okay, so that's about it for the formatting. I'll add some bullet points to those ones and to the last 2 as well. Also, this point here is a note, so rather than write the word note, we could use a different style from the style guide to give it a notes look and feel. So let's see what that looks like on the screen. Resize the cell, Now again, to make it look a bit more interesting, I'd like to add some images. I haven't loaded images yet, so I'll load that one from my computer, select it and then insert it, and I'd like another image, that one there, again select it and insert it. They're a bit big and I can resize them. Ideally it's best to get them the right size in something like Photoshop rather than resizing them in here. If it's a big file and you make it smaller, it's still a big file to download. But seeing we've got some images and these 2 points here relate to those images, let's change our layout a little bit to try and make it look a bit more interesting. Let's try and make it so the headings and the images they relate to line up. So I'm just cutting them out of here, again using keyboard shortcuts, creating a new cell by double clicking, pasting it in, and now I've got a variety of objects on the screen, or cells. So each cell is an object. I can move it around, resize the bounding box, move the image object, line them up. The numbers you see on the top of the cells tell you the X and Y coordinates, the size of the cell, and then the number at the end shows you or tells you the layer. Each object on a page is on a different layer, going from 1 upwards. So I'm going to save that page, it looks pretty good, and I'm going to start creating another information page. So I'll go to page 3, give it a title, and this one's going to be Friction in Sports. Again, I'm going to paste some text in and just quickly reformat it. And this last sentence here is an instruction, so I'm going to use the instruction style. Now we can really start adding some interactivity in the video by bringing in the video analysis tool. So this time, instead of choosing video, I choose analyze, and that's going to load the tool in that gives me the analysis tools. You can't see these tools in editing mode, you can only see them when you're in user mode. I'm also going to add a capture button. I'm going to give it a title, and this button is going to capture an image from the screen. So it's going to capture what the person has done when they've done their analysis, which is their drawings and their angle measurements, etc. I actually don't like the heading sitting there, so I'm actually going to open this up again and hide the heading. I can reposition the box inside the cell. You can see there's 2 bounding boxes, there's the blue one and the grey one. The next page I'm going to make is going to be a quiz page. I'm going to use some of the interactions available in Bracken to make a multi-choice question and then a free text box. So I'm going to call this my Test Your Knowledge page, and delete this little bit of text and add in a checkbox. So this opens up the checkbox editor. I first give it a title, I'll just paste that in there, and then I'm going to type in the options. Just add another one, and I'm going to have 3 options. Not all of them are correct, in fact 2 of them are correct, and I can change the setting so the system knows which are the 2 correct answers, so it can self-correct later on. Again, you can see the blue bounding box inside the grey. The blue one means you can shift these individual components that are inside the cell individually. It gives you a lot more flexibility for laying out the page your own way. They could be aligned vertical as they are there. Just get the distance right, or they could be horizontal across the page. Now I'd like to add a free text box, or what's called a multi-line text box. Just going to copy a heading over, paste that in. I'm going to make the mark out of 0. The system can't mark a free text box because it doesn't know what the person has written. And I have the grey bounding box that will hold the text in bounds, and then I have the box where the person will be able to write in when they're using it. But they need a video, so again I'm going to use the Analyze tool, check I've got the right video, and then bring it in. You can't resize the Analyze tool. It has all the tools and controls inside it, and they'd get all squashed and distorted. So you can't resize the Analyze tool. You have to resize the text and the text boxes around it. So we've made an introductory screen and then 3 context screens. Now we're going to make a summary screen. So we'll save it first. Click on the 5th page, and again I have some text I'm just going to paste in. And just work out where the break goes. There we go. Put in a line break. Resize the box. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just save it and then click this link up here to go back to the list of all my modules. One of the great things about using Bracken is that you can flick into user mode whenever you like to see how it's going to look for the user. So now instead of edit I'm going to start, and I'm going to be looking at it exactly how a user would. So a user being a student, for example. Second page with the images, the third page with the analysis tool. So this is what it looks like. They were given instructions to identify where some areas reducing friction located. They take a snapshot of those, and if you roll the mouse over the wee thumbnail it gives you a full-sized picture again. And next screen had some multi-choice, so let's try those and mark. Happened to get them right, that was good. Now it's time to do the free text. The person could type whatever words they like in here. It's the free text box answering the question above. And then we have our summary page. And then right at the end a report is created. This report shows the user and the teacher how they did. And that's it, creating your first module in Siliconcoach Live's Bracken.